Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about mom goals for 2021. Now this video is going to be all about setting a vision, setting goals, and some tips and tricks on how to stick to them for 2021 to make it the year you want it to be. Now for most of us, 2020 was not the greatest year, especially as parents when we couldn't have any play dates and we had to stay quarantined with our kiddos. Some of us who were working in healthcare education may have had some really hard times at work as well. And it just was one of those years, and I feel like there was a lot of negativity around 2020, and I'm just ready to put that aside and move into 2021 with a new vision. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. If you're new here, my name is Autumn Renee. I am the foster to adopt mama of a very sweet 2-year-old little boy. If you're interested in learning more about us and our journey and other motherhood videos, definitely go check out my channel below. And for those of you who've been up here for a while, welcome back. I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I broke up my goals/visions for this year into 4 categories. The first one is self-improvement goals or self-improvement vision. The second one is social, so talking about your social life within the home, with your partner, with your kids, and then as well with friends and coworkers outside of the home. And then the third one is going to be the goals having to do with the home, things like meal prepping, budgeting, cleaning, that kind of thing. And then the final one is going to be like creativity/career goals. So we're going to go through those. I'm going to tell you guys what my goals are for this year, some things I'm doing to make sure I stick with them. And then hopefully you guys will let me know in the comments below some of your goals for this year. All right, let's go ahead and get started with self-improvement. So my first goal for self-improvement is most people's goals right for the new year is to exercise more. But more specifically, I want to try to get in at least 150 minutes of exercise, like moderate exercise a week. And the reason I did that is, as a mom, you guys probably know it's really hard to find time to work out, especially if you also work outside of the home, because you wake up, you have to get ready for work, you go to work, you come back, then you have to do all of the making dinner, the lunches, the bedtimes, and then it's dark outside, and like this time of year it's cold, and it's just, when do you find the time? And then of course with COVID, it's not like you have the chance to go to a gym, so it's really hard to find time to work out. So I haven't been, and I would like to make that more of a habit. So the reason I decided to do 150 minutes of moderate exercise is, for me, that would be 30 minutes every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then another 30 minutes sometime over the weekend. And I am lucky, our family tends to be pretty active. We usually go on a hike or something over the weekend, so that kind of takes care of itself. And I feel like the other 4 days, I only put in there moderate exercise, so I feel like I can get it in just by walking with my son to the park, or maybe taking a short bike ride, or if it's too cold, maybe just doing a workout video in my room. I feel like it's something I can really find time and stick to, so that's what I decided to do for myself. So again, I'm doing 30 minutes of exercise Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then one more time over the weekend to get me to that full 150 minutes. Obviously, this is not a super vigorous exercise schedule, but for me, it is kind of a realistic, what I can actually get done in this point in my life right now kind of thing. So that is what I'm doing for exercise. I am going to keep a log of it. I found this super cute like weekly planner here at the Target dollar spot. It's called like Weekly Planner. So if you guys have a Target near you, you might find one of these. And it's great because it's got like the week mapped out. So you can put in here like the things you're doing each day. You can put notes down here to remind yourself. And then I'm also going to be making a vision board like up here on my wall. So if you guys are interested in seeing that vision board, let me know in the comments below. But that's kind of how I'm going to be keeping up with this stuff. I also might use an app. I haven't decided yet. In the past, I've used this app called MyFitnessPal, which I'll leave linked below, where you can kind of track like what you're eating and your exercise and stuff. But I don't know, I haven't quite decided yet. So if you guys have a great way you love like keeping your exercise tracking, let me know in the comments below so I can check it out. All right, so that is my number 1, exercise more. My number 2 for self-improvement is to read more. And I actually love to read, but it's just hard to find the time. Again, it's like a time issue. Like I can't read at work. I can't read when my kids are awake. Like it's like by the time I get at night, I just want to spend time, with my partner, Ryan. And it's hard to find time to read. So I want to make it more of a priority. Instead of like sitting down and watching Netflix, I'd love to sit down and open a book. So I've decided to give myself a goal to read 30 books this year, which is about 2 to 3 books a month, which I feel like is a pretty maybe just a little bit above realistic goal. It's kind of challenging, but I feel like it's a good challenging. And I am a fast reader, so if you're someone who's like a slower reader, maybe don't like to read as much, you may want to pick a different goal, or maybe that sounds like way too little for you and you read all the time and want to make a bigger goal. But for me, I feel like 2 to 3 books a month was like a challenging but still realistic goal. So, and I'm counting all books in that. So whether it's a fiction book or a parenting book or anything, like I'm counting all of that. And I'm actually hoping to kind of incorporate that a little bit in my channel. I think I'm going to be doing this series this year called Books for Mamas, where I can actually review and talk to you guys about some great parenting books and books for moms. So you guys can check that out if you're interested in it, but that's what I'm going to do. And again, I'm going to be keeping all this in my weekly planner to keep up with it. All right, so those are my 2 main like self-improvement goals. I also have like those are my primary goals, like the ones I'm actually going to be measuring and tracking, but I also have some like secondary goals. And these goals are going to be things that it's more like on my mind, but I'm not necessarily being like hardcore, like tracking them. So part of my secondary goals for self-improvement was to be more mindful and be more positive and focus on like being grateful for what I have. Again, I think that's stemming from like the negativity that came from 2020. So again, this year I'm trying to kind of focus on just being really mindful and really present, just loving the now, enjoying what I have now, and just, you know, trying to focus on the good in the world, as there's been so much not so great this recently. So that's one of my kind of secondary self-improvement goals. I also kind of hoping to drink more water. I think I'm going to track my water as well as my exercise. So maybe I should be putting that as a primary goal, but I'm going to try to drink at least 10 cups of water a day. And then finally, I would really like to be more positive towards myself as well. So start using some more positive affirmations and just letting myself know that like, hey, I'm doing my best. I can do this. I think again, last year, I think I was just really overwhelmed and I got in kind of this cycle of like negative thoughts of just being like, oh my gosh, I'm never good enough. I can never get it done. So I would like to be better about kind of doing that positive self-talk like to myself. So, which I used to think that stuff was kind of like dumb or didn't work. But I feel like now that I'm really struggling with that, I actually see a lot of value in it. So that's something that I'm hoping to do this year. So if you guys have any great tips for that, let me know in the comments below. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next category, which is social goals, which I am actually an introvert, which you might be surprised. I may not like come across as an introvert on here, but I like to describe myself as an extroverted introvert. So I still like to have my time alone. I like to spend just like me time. I get energized by being back by myself. But when I'm with others, I am still very talkative, very outgoing. So I kind of come across sometimes as an extrovert. So extroverted, introverted, whatever. So my social goals this year are starting out with number 1, and that is going to be date nights or date days. And the reason for that is because obviously, pending pandemic, me and Ryan haven't had any kind of date nights or anything from all the way like last February till now. So there's just been, obviously we've been quarantined together, we've spent a lot of time together, but there hasn't really been any like specific like, hey, let's like spend this like time together to have like a date. So I think I would like to start adding like a weekly date night to us. So like just picking a day like Tuesdays or whatever to just be like our couples night. And it doesn't always have to be like a date where like you're leaving the house. But even just like a, hey, let's have like a game night, just the 2 of us, or let's purposely like rent a movie and sit down and watch it, just the 2 of us, or whatever it is you want to do. So I'm going to just start spending like 1 night a week, like really making sure that we're just spending intentional time together. So even though we're together every night, we're always doing things together, like I think just having the intentional time to actually make it like more special, I guess, I think will be really important for us. And I think especially, again, since that's really been not a focus for like a whole year, I think it'd be good to put that back into focus. So that is my first goal for social, is to really start like a weekly date night with Ryan. And so hopefully if you have a partner, maybe you want to add that to your goals as well. My second goal has to do with friends. Again, with pandemic, we haven't spent a lot of time with our friends. We haven't been able to have parties. We haven't been able to go out and do things with them and go see movies and shopping and things you might normally do. So I would like to spend more time, pending the pandemic, with friends, and then also meeting new friends, especially mom friends. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it is so hard to meet mom friends. Like unless the friends you already have decided to have kids, like you're just like on your own. And obviously I started this super early, so I don't have a lot of like mom friends, I'm gonna be honest. So that's one of my goals this year, is to meet more mom friends to have play dates and stuff with. Again, pending the pandemic situation. The vaccine's out, so maybe, fingers crossed, that this will work out for me. But that is one of my other goals. And that's something that I'm not really going to track because obviously that's a little bit harder to track. The date nights are kind of pretty easy to track, but I wasn't really sure how I would set goals for friends because I didn't want to be too rigid about it. So that's more of those kind of secondary goals where it's more like on my mind, but not something I'm specifically tracking, if that makes sense. All right, moving on to goal number 3, which is goals for the house. Now, for me, this is a big one. When I sat down and thought about what's something I want to work on myself for 2021, like first thing that popped into my head was dishes. Because I am the worst. Like I feel like there's that one thing that everybody really hates in their house. Some people it's laundry, some people it's dishes. Whatever it is for you, like for me, it's dishes. Like I can procrastinate dishes for days and it's really, really bad. And I'm just awful at it. Like I've tried like so many different like routines and hacks and things to try to get better at it. But I always fall back into my same like old habits of not doing the dishes. And then it's like this cycle because then I have this dirty kitchen that I don't want to clean and then I also don't want to cook in. And so then we order out and then that's not good for the food budget. And it's just this vicious like cycle of not washing dishes. So one of my biggest goals this year was to get better about that. And I'm actually have like very specific things I'm going to do to help myself with this. The first thing I'm doing is I put a sticky note right above my sink that says put dishes in dishwasher right away. That way, instead of even putting that plate in the sink, I'm just putting it in the dishwasher, rinsing it, putting it in the dishwasher, which is a really hard habit to get into when you're not used to it. But it's something that like I really want to focus on because I feel like I'll be more likely to do the dishes if there's less of them. So that is one of my goals, is to put the sticky note there. Another thing is to try to go to bed every night doing the dishes. Again, I have tried this before and it has not worked, but something I've decided to do is what me and Ryan are doing is whichever one of us is putting Darian down to bed, the other one of us will be washing the dishes. So we just switch off. So like at night we'll be like, okay, do you want to put him down to bed or do you want to do dishes? And we'll just flip flop it that way. That way the dishes are always getting done by one of us before the night is up. So I'm doing the sticky note to help reduce the dishes. And then we're doing that kind of nighttime swap to help, get them done every day. So hopefully that will start to become a habit. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. So I'm going to be trying to like track myself, like 21 days, like can I get there? So I'll let you guys know how it goes because I've tried and failed before. So if you have any great dishes hacks, let me know in the comments below because dishes, man, they're the worst. So my second goal for the home really had to do with like meals and budget. And I really thought about this for a long time, like what I really wanted to make my goal. Because I feel like I have lots of things I would like to do. Like I would like to try new recipes. I would like to make more food. I would like to eat out less. But I felt like when I really thought about it, what it boiled down to was saving money on our food budget because we have a certain amount that we like to spend at the grocery store and I'm pretty good at sticking to that. But when it comes to like, I don't feel like making dinner tonight, let's just order something. That's the pit hole right there. Like we eat out way too much, especially like during this last year. So my goal for food this year, it was really budget oriented and that was to limit our eating out to once a week. Which again, we've been eating out like way too much. I used to never eat out, but something about last year, like, I don't even know. So this year we're trying to limit it to once a week eating out, sticking to our grocery food budget, which for us is $150 a week. That might be a lot for you. That might be a little. Everybody's different, but for our family, that's like a good amount for us to spend on groceries per month or per week. And then I feel like I had one more thing with that. But I don't even know. But so yeah, so sticking to the grocery budget, only eating out once a week and just really cutting down on that food budget, packing our lunches, being more frugal with the food that we spend. Because that's really the main thing in our budget that fluctuates is the food situation. And that goal itself is really going to help us in a lot of areas because if we're not eating out, then I'm going to have to be meal planning. I'm going to have to be making more food. I'm going to have to be packing my lunch. Hopefully we'll be eating healthier because we're eating at home. And then hopefully we'll be saving money because we're sticking in our budget. So that's like a whole bunch of goals kind of wrapped into one. But when I boiled it down, like I felt like those were our two biggest problems was just limiting the amount we're eating out and sticking within our food budget. So those are the food goals for the home that I have made this year. All right, last category is going to be the creativity/career. For me this year, that is all YouTube oriented. I have loved making this channel for you guys. I've loved talking to you. I've loved providing videos that you find useful. So my goal this year is to continue to grow this channel, to continue to put out consistent videos and consistent content. that people find helpful. It's been so inspiring to have people comment and be like, I'm starting my journey because of you. This has helped give me the confidence to start my journey. Like, all of that has really just inspired me to continue to want to make this content. It's something that I never thought that I would do, but I've really enjoyed doing. So I do hope to continue to grow this channel and to continue to put consistent content out for you guys. So that is kind of my creativity goal for this year. I would really, really love to hear in the comments below what your guys' goals are for 2021. What's your vision? What are you hoping to accomplish this year? What's something that you didn't do last year that you want to do this year? Let me know in the comments below. Fill those comments up with such goodies for everybody to read and inspiration. And y'all have a wonderful 2021. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.